the 4 different types of hunger and what you can do about it. Sean here from Fit Fusion Brotherhood. I own a gym for 10 years. I've coached thousands of clients, and one of the most difficult parts about fat loss is dealing with hunger. But what you may not realize is not all hunger is created equal. There's actually 4 different types. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to talk about the 4 types, how these hungers present, but also what you can do about it. Okay, so the first type of hunger is stomach hunger. This is the one that most people are, aware of. And this is actually your body signaling to your brain that you are hungry. It's a result of either not enough food volume in your stomach, or just not really getting enough calories throughout the day, or even just your body signaling for whatever reason that you need more food. So some ways to tell if this is stomach hunger would be if it's a slow, gradual progression. It's not something that comes really quickly. You actually feel it in your stomach rather than in your brain or in your mouth. And it kind of signals that you need food, and it doesn't really discriminate. It's not a craving. It's not I want something specific. It's just I need to eat. Okay, so what are some things that you can do? So first, if you haven't had enough food yet, it's important to make sure that you actually do eat. Now, when it comes to what types of food you should eat when you feel this way, there are 2 types of foods that are going to be really beneficial for you. One would be foods that are high in fiber. This is going to help slow down that digestion, also make you feel full for longer. And then the second one is going to be protein. Also going to make you feel full, regulate your blood sugar, and help you feel full for longer. Another thing that you can do if you're not sure whether or not you've actually had too little or too much food to begin with is what we call the 20-minute rule. So the 20-minute rule states that if you're feeling this stomach hunger, grab a glass of water, drink it, wait 20 minutes, and see if you're still feeling hungry. Because oftentimes, stomach hunger can actually be thirst. So you want to be able to discern whether or not you're hungry or you're thirsty, and one of the ways to do that is to test it through your water. So the number 1 type of hunger here is the stomach hunger. The second type of hunger is called mouth hunger, and this is essentially just cravings. Not ideal because unlike the first one, where it's your body signaling that you just need more food and more satiety, this is your brain convincing you that you need something specific. And usually it's going to be something that isn't the most conducive thing to your nutrition goals. So what are some signs and symptoms here? Typically, it's something that comes on really quickly. Typically, it's for a specific food or type of food. It's not just fill me up in any way possible. And it's something that has some sort of association or trigger. So if you're getting those cravings or the mouth hunger, it's important to first understand what it is, that it's not actual hunger, it's a specific craving. So what are a few things that you can do? Number 1, you can do a simple replacement. So if you're craving something like chips, you can substitute it for something a little bit healthier. So popcorn. If you're craving ice cream, you can have Greek yogurt. So making these small adjustments can have a really big impact on whether or not you're going to succumb to these cravings or not. The second one is the obvious one here, is the out of sight rule. If you are notorious for succumbing to these cravings, just don't have that type of food in your house. Easy enough, right? And then the third one would be pre-portioned snacks. So if you're one of those people that just doesn't want to give up specific foods, there's no problem at all as long as you can control it. And one of the best ways to control it is to buy things in a small pre-portioned package. That way, number 1, it's not going to allow you to get out of control. And then number 2, it already has your portion sizes set for you so you can still enjoy the foods you want without going out of hand here. Okay, so the number 2 type of hunger here is the mouth hunger, and that's just your typical cravings. The third type of hunger is emotional hunger. So emotional hunger, you've probably heard the term a stress eater, but it doesn't always have to be about stress. It can be eating when you're bored, eating when you're anxious, when you're sad, when you're angry. Basically just some sort of emotion is going to dictate and make you want to eat food when you otherwise wouldn't. So the telltale signs here would be obviously experiencing some sort of emotion that triggers you to eat a specific food. So asking yourself, how am I feeling right now? What's causing this? And just being able to identify what you're going through is going to be one of the first steps that you can kind of help nip this in the bud before it becomes a problem. Okay, so the first thing is always to do a state check. Really just kind of ask yourself, am I actually hungry or am I feeling emotional? Because Different emotions can stimulate different feelings for certain people. Some people eat a ton when they're stressed out. Other people will just not eat at all. So if you're one of those stress eaters or even boredom eaters, ask yourself how you're feeling and why you're considering doing like that. So another thing that you can actually look at as well would be a comfort swap. So instead of having food as your comfort, do something else that feels good but isn't necessarily incongruent to your goals. So taking a bath or taking a shower, doing a stretch, laying in bed, all of these things that aren't going to have negative impact on your results or goals, but will still allow you to feel good. And then one of my favorite tips here is a micro walk. I would say go for a long walk, but I know that's not going to be the case for everyone. So even a 90-second walk can just get you out of that emotional state, make you feel a lot better, and you'll notice that you suddenly don't have those same types of hunger cravings. Okay, so if you're an emotional eater, recognizing why it's happening first and then getting yourself out of that state as much as possible is going to be the key to helping to fix this problem. And then number 4 is habit hunger. So habit hunger is all about having the pattern and the consistency of eating at the same time every day, usually combined with some sort of habit. So for you, this might be evening time, spending time with the family, watching Netflix on the couch, and you're always eating chips, right? You had that association of food plus some sort of habit, and it becomes a positive association. Whether it's comfortable, bonding time with family, whatever it is, it becomes very difficult to break because number 1, your circadian rhythms are actually starting to also get used to this pattern. When you're eating the same thing at the same time every day, your body enjoys that type of consistency and it becomes very difficult to break. And then the second part, of course, would just be that association with something positive. And like I mentioned, not an easy thing to break, and it's not actual stomach hunger. It's something that you have kind of built the habit into your body getting used to doing something that it doesn't actually need. Okay, so what you can do, number 1, you can have a very easy and simple pattern breaker just to kind of, instead of completely transforming an entire habit, which is very difficult to do, you want to slightly switch some of the stimulus in order to hopefully make a difference. It can be something as simple as moving to the other side of the couch. It can be watching a different show. It can be doing it earlier, later. A million different things that you can do. Some of these may not work for you, but all you need is one to work. So I would encourage you to try a bunch of these things and see what works for you. The second thing, and this is my personal favorite, is having nightly routines. So what I would do after dinner, brush my teeth, because you're much less likely to eat or snack after you brush your teeth compared to if you didn't. You can also do a proverbial closing the kitchen after dinner where you don't give yourself access to go into the kitchen as well. And all of these things can make such a big difference, which is kind of shifting and then breaking that habit. Because like I mentioned, it's not the actual stomach hunger where your body's craving food for sustenance. It's just a habit that you've gotten yourself into. Okay, so number 4, habit hunger. So hopefully by now you've realized there's not just one type of hunger. There's 4 types. You got your stomach hunger, your mouth hunger, your emotional hunger, and your habit hunger. So I'm very curious which ones maybe you struggle with more. So if you do have any questions or concerns, or just want to kind of share where you're at, drop them in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy videos like this, do us a huge favor, like, comment, and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. See you in the next one.